we have been very active this past year, and as this video shows, so many people across this county have done extraordinary things this past year under some very difficult and trying circumstances. With reduced budgets, on the average that our county departments have faced about a 17% reduction over the last 3 years, fewer employees, more people needing their services, and obviously we have fewer resources to provide them. Yes, they got mad, but they got over it and they got to work. And that should be the primary mission of all of us in this room today, getting people back to work. Our recovery begins and ends with jobs, plain and simple. We cannot print enough money to solve our problems. We have to put people back to work. So let's talk about where we are. When the federal government announced the $700 billion in stimulus funding, my jaw dropped like probably many of yours in this room. But last year I told you about the 10,000 jobs program that we started in the 4th District and spread throughout the county. We were able to find a way to use some of this unique stimulus funding to get people back to work. In fact, a lot of people. I'm pleased to say that we exceeded our goal of getting jobs for some 11,000 adults and 15,000 disadvantaged youth in the last year. It was one of the greatest uses of stimulus funding in the nation. No one knew how to do it, but Mr. Fujioka and others came up with this plan, and the federal government loved it. And while we did, and we created these desperately needed jobs and stimulated our region's economy, for many local companies, this program was a desperately needed lifeline. While it saved many businesses, it also prevented many people from having to go on the county's welfare system. The best news of all is that nearly 1,500 of those people have landed full-time, permanent, non-subsidized employment because of this program. For the companies which participated, it meant an opportunity to fuel their businesses and in several cases actually keep their doors open. For many companies are starting to turn the corner and have been so pleased with their temporary employees that they've hired them permanently. And I'd like to recognize a couple of companies that are with me today. CDR Financial Services, right here in the great city of Long Beach, hired every one of their 20 temporary employees into permanent roles. Walter Larkins, owner of CDR Financial Services, said, "Our company was in a real bad position. Our cash flow had taken a dive. This program allowed us to ramp up quickly. It changed the whole direction of our company. D&G Sports Ventures is a company in Bellflower which manages paintball facilities. The good news about D&G is that they hired 25 of their 10,000 job program participants into permanent roles. Giovanni DiGio is with us at D&G Sports, and he said that the hard economic times had such a big effect in his business that they were planning to let people go. Then they joined the program. Not only did they increase their staff and not have to cut hours, they actually generated more work and increased sales and revenue. So thank you to Walter and Giovanni for being with us today. I'd like you to please stand so we can recognize you, and we appreciate your support. Right over here. This program is a prime example of spending smart and using taxpayer money wisely. I'm convinced that subsidized employment is a key economic driver. It's not a short-term handout, Band-Aid solution that we can't afford. It's supporting businesses and helping people get jobs, take care of their families, keep them off the county system, and in the end it saves us money. It is not a handout, it is a hand-up. But unfortunately, Congress didn't take action to approve the funding. They had a little problem, it's called election year, that would have continued this great 10,000 jobs program. But given its overwhelming success, we are going to continue, and I personally will continue to advocate for the reauthorization of these funds. These are not new dollars. People desperately need jobs, and this program made a big difference for thousands of families, and I only wish I could share some of the letters that I received.